The main goal of this playthrough is to get to 1 million caps legitimately, without cheats, mods or glitches, with the exception of the companion unlimited carrying weight glitch, and we are doing all of this in survival mode. This is Barren Wuffet, and this is his story. We're starting off today with 16,000 caps, we have 3 settlements, and a bunch of water and a bunch of melons. And today's goal is going to be to build stores in Red Rocket and also to add new settlements to our collection. So the strategy for today on our journey to get to 1 million caps is going to be to first of all build all our stores in Red Rocket, because then we can have people to sell our purified water to. Because by having a lot of vendors, we can then sell our purified water faster, so we can get to 1 million caps faster as well. Don't forget that the problem is not having enough items that are worth a million caps. The problem is to actually get the 1 million caps, because each vendor only has a limited amount of caps. So we are always limited to that amount. We are going to get 2 new settlements, which are going to be 2 new melon farms to add to our collection. Also, all the melons that we collect during this playthrough, we are going to sell them to Lucy Abernathy in Abernathy Farm. So we started off once again in Century Hills. We got all the water, we picked up all the melons, and we got all our junk, and we moved very slowly to Red Rocket. We dropped our junk there, we picked up the melons, we built 2 water pumps in extra power, added all the necessary beds and 20 defense, and of course a bathtub for our Brahmin. I built 6 level 3 stores in Red Rocket, 1 of each type of store, because each store type shares the amount of caps that they have. Therefore, if I get every cap from one store type, I'm going to have no caps on the next store of the same type. By selling purified waters to our own stores, I can get around 3,500 caps at a time. And all the remaining settlers that are not assigned as vendors, I assign them to plant melons. After this, I went back and forth between Sanctuary Hills and Red Rocket, getting new melons, assigning new settlers to produce more melons, getting purified water and selling that purified water in Red Rocket in our stores for another 3,500 caps each every single time that I did it. And I did this about 3 or 4 times. Once in Sanctuary Hills, I sent the Vault-Tec rep to Red Rocket, hoping that he would become my level 4 vendor, but unfortunately he's bugged and I can't really assign him to do anything. And since I'm in survival and I don't want to use mods, I can't even use the console to actually unlock him and use him, so unfortunately we can't really use him. After this, when reaching Red Rocket, we collected our first store payment of 150 caps, which is not a lot, but it helps a lot to gain some of our investment back, because each store can cost up to 3,000 caps to open. Having Red Rocket with 9 people and Sanctuary Hills with 17 people, we start traveling to Sunshine Tidings Co-op. On the way, I sold 100 melons to Lucy Abernathy, getting a little over 500 caps. After that, I continued my travels to Sunshine Tidings Co-op. Once reaching my destination, I cleared up the area with the help of Strong and got control of the workshop. After this, I started traveling to Starlight Drive-In. Once I reached, I cleared the area of mole rats, looted a bit, and slept. Once ready, I called my super duper Uber service to travel back to Sanctuary Hills, our friends from the Brotherhood of Steele. I grabbed all the generated purified waters and cooked the meal for myself. I moved some inactive settlers to Red Rocket to become provisioners to travel to our new settlements. And finally, we connected our 2 new settlements to Red Rocket, in order for us to share materials. With all the settlements connected, we now have the materials that we need to build whatever things we need in those specific settlements. And they are going to be specifically melon farms. So in order to try to build our new melon farm, I started my journey back to Starlight Drive-In. However, before that, I took all the melons that I accumulated, so we're talking about 1,300 melons, to Abernathy Farm to sell them to Lucy. And I got about 6,500 caps. This is the reason why melons are so important here for our strategy, because differently from purified water, you can sell any amount of melons and get the full amount of caps at once. You don't have to go there repeatedly and lose a lot of time. When finally reaching Starlight Drive-In, I scrapped everything, added basic conditions such as our recruit beacon so we can have more settlers. I started a melon farm there. I had a 20 defense, water, and power. And with Starlight Drive-In up and running, I went back to Sanctuary Hills and I got all the purified water that I have accumulated over this time. And I took all of it to Red Rocket and I noticed that I accumulated over 6,000 purified waters, which since each one is worth 18 caps, it's a lot of potential caps that I have here. I managed the melon production in both settlements, so Sanctuary Hills and Red Rocket, and I started my journey back to Sunshine Tidings, so it would get the same treatment as Starlight Drive-In. Of course that throughout this time, I didn't have every single material that I needed to actually build whatever I needed to build in my settlements. So every time I needed materials, I went to Diamond City and got my materials, but at the same time, I also sold purified waters to all the vendors that I could find, which include Mo, Arturo, Takashi, Solomon, Sun, Becky, Polly, Shang, and Wellingham. I also went to Good Neighbor and sold purified water to Cleo, Daisy, Charlie, Fred, and Rufus. And also, every time that I went back and forth between any settlement, I would get the new melons, I would assign new settlers to produce more melons, I would get the purified water that I've accumulated, and I would sell that purified water in Red Rocket for another 3,500 caps each time that I did all this route. Funny thing, one time I was traveling to Sunshine Tidings and I accidentally taunted the behemoth that for some reason just started chasing me all the way to Sunshine Tidings and he wouldn't stop. So, I had to kill him using my settlers as well. It was an interesting, unexpected, very Fallout 4 moment, to say the least. So as I said initially, we started with 16,000 caps. We invested 100,800 caps in stores, and we currently are around 43,000 caps. We made a lot of caps in this episode. We also have new settlements including Sunshine Tiding Co-ops and Starlight Drive-In. We're currently sitting on about 7,600 purified waters, and our total melon production is 504 across all of our settlements. This means that every single time that I go to each settlement and I collect every single melon, I accumulate 504 plus the production that they accumulate in the workshop, which is a lot. All these 504 melons are equivalent to 2,520 caps if I just go and sell them to Lucy Abernathy. Although we are still far away from our goal, we covered a lot of ground today, and I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the challenge, and I hope you have a nice week. See you later.